Hey, good evening and welcome everybody. Welcome to our weekly show. We call it Three Broke Guys Handicapping, where we review one of the top racing cards from around the United States. We will select a four-race sequence from that track and attempt to come to a consensus on a pick four ticket. Thank you for joining us. This week, it's opening day of the 23-day fall meeting at Santa Anita Racetrack in Arcadia, California. It begins tomorrow with 5 Grade 1 races on the card, and it concludes in early November with the Breeders' Cup. The pick four starts with race number 8 and finishes in race 11. They're all stakes, including 3 Grade 1s. My name is Rich Sharp, and each week I'll be joined by my friends and racing analyst, Ray Torado, who joins us from Staten Island, New York. Ray, these represent some of the very best prep races as we head to the Breeders' Cup. Who are you most interested to see run at Santa Anita on Saturday?
Oh, this Saturday? Well, the one race we're not going to handicap, but really want to see California Columbus run, do his stint again. And actually, I was looking forward to the front runner. That usually determines, who's going to be one of the top 2-year-olds going down towards the Breeders' Cup and prior to next year also. And also Beholder. I'm really curious about Beholder, how she bounces back against the girls, after 2 straight losses. And I'm just curious to see if she has anything left. I mean, that she'll be back at the home tracker, so that should help.
Thank you, sir. All right. And from Temecula, California, my good friend Joe English. Joe, same question for you.
I guess I'll echo Ray's answers. I'm wanting to see Klimt and see how Klimt and Straight Fire do going 2 turns, and I'm really interested in the Beholder Stellar Wind, the Zenyatta tomorrow.
All right. After 5 weeks in upstate New York, in rural Kentucky, Canada, and suburban Pennsylvania, we're going to turn our attention to what I like to call home. It's Santa Anita Racetrack in scenic Arcadia, California. It's the great Ray place. It's that Seabiscuit built. The only racetrack to have ever hosted the Three Broke Guys Handicapping. We saw the 2014 Breeders' Cup together. So I'm going to handle the weather forecast for us for tomorrow. The forecast calls for 0% chance of rain in Santa Anita. It's got a high in the mid-90s. It's a beautiful day for racing, and the sun is going to shine like California chrome. I promise that's my last reference to that Horse Tonight show.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, right? A total of 11 races. There's 6 stakes and 5 Grade 1s on tap for Saturday. For tonight, we're focused on the pick 4. It begins in race number 8. It concludes in race number 11. Gentlemen, the gates are locked and loaded. Shall we get started?
Let's do it.
Race 8. The approximate post time for the pick 4 starting is at 7:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Race 8 is the Rodeo Drive Stakes. Grade 1 going 1.25 miles on the brand new Santa Anita turf course. Purse is $300,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. 14 starters, and your lukewarm morning line favorite at 7-2 is in post number 12, Zipessa, for trainer Michael Stidham and ridden by Florin Giroux. Ray, this is an interesting fact. My wife, Cindy, has picked the winner of this race the last 2 years in a row, and she has taken to telling her friends that she owns the Rodeo Drive. So if you get stuck, go ahead and pull in a secret weapon. Go ahead. Take it away, man.
Wow. From 14, okay. Yeah, this is going to be a very spreadable race. I think we're going to have different opinions, and we're going to go, we'll probably have to go deep here to get through this one. Well, tell your wife that we're going to have a little Spanish here. Salvadora Incorporated from way outside post number 14. I think she was beaten by a slow pace as a favorite in the Mabby race at Del Mar. She's 2 for 2 at 1.25 miles in Argentina. So she should get the distance. She raced Group 1, Grade 1 stake race at Copa de Plata, which is actually for the Gold Cup. Bejarano's riding, and Callahan's a good trainer on the turf. And I guess a good solid workout for Santa Anita. So So our daughter's, my top choice. I like also include number 4, Avenge. Speedy down the hillside turf course. It's going to be tested for class here and distance. Based on the last race, she rated off the lead and held off the closers and won that race, the grade 2 JC Mabby. We know about Pratt. He's an awesome turf rider. He's 25%. And Richard Mandela's 22% for the year. So, there you go, check mark. Very nice. Number 11, Decked Out. Just missed the Del Marcos Oaks. A nice horse to harmonize, beat her that day. Did try the distance at Belmont, safe ground, didn't run well. But then again, who's going to catch Cassie Gumps that day? She was gone. So she's back on the West Coast, and will definitely benefit off the last race. Number 13, again on the outside, Electrum, was still in the same Mabby race, while being 5 wide. Another victim for slow pace, but did gain for the show spot. I think she'll like the 10 furlongs also. In the grade 1 race, she's been like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, so maybe this is her time to shine. 3rd race to Psycho, and she could be sitting in a big one. All right, Joe, those are my 4. I'm sure you have some other opinions, and you can put together starting of the keynote ticket, race number 8. Joe?
I was waiting for you to toss it to me.
Yeah.
It's fine. I share a lot of the same paired. I actually kind of like Decked Out as my top choice. Angle for me, it's similar to Rich's angle, but it's a little bit different. The fresh face in a new place. I'm just thinking, well, she's been battling against 3-year-olds. Maybe the older horses, they seem to be each other. Decked Out ran really well to Del Mar Oaks the day. Rich and I were there that day, and that was a hell of a finish.
Yeah,
got there, and I just have a feeling maybe she's better than maybe the 3-year-old turfers are better than the older fillies out in California. So I'm going with the 11 as my top choice. I kind of also like the number 2, Friendsified, combination, James Cassidy and Sal Gonzalez. The horse seems to be getting better with each start. The horse has been running longer with each start. The horse is obviously been running when Europe running races longer than this. So maybe they're setting up for something with a Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf down the road. And maybe this horse is good enough to win here. She's been getting better each start. She's been working steadily for James Cassidy, and at worth. She may not win, but I think she's a decent enough shot in a race that's pretty wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned because the form from the Beverly D has come back so well. At least 3 winners from that race already. Horses that were in that race have run similar figures last time out, and we haven't seen C. Khaleesi yet. But Alsgal came back to win last time out, so I have to think we need to include Zapesa. I know she's the Morning Light favorite, but I also know one other thing is that this is Florent Giroux's only mount today. He isn't sending this horse out here for fresh air. He's here to win, and I think Florent Giroux is in this spot to win. And like I said, the form from the Beverly D has come back very well. The one to beat, she'll be close to the pace, probably sitting right outside Avenge, or first turn and a half. First half turn as they come down the hill going 1.25 miles at Santa Anita. Forwardly placed, you won't have to worry about traffic issues. The other deep closers are going to have to worry about horses like Decked Out, like Electrum, the sand. And I think she's got a tactical edge there. So I think we have to include her on the ticket. But again, this is a race that if I could go 7 deep just by myself. So my top choices are 11, 2, and 12, and horses that Ray mentioned would also be included on my ticket. The 14, 12, the 14 and the 13. Anyway, it'd be a keynote ticket. But again, my top choices are 11, 2, and 12. So, Rich, do you have any opinions on the horses fence is either in the middle, somewhere in the middle of the gate, maybe like post 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7.
Yeah, I believe Ray already caught my check mark a little bit earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick with the real solid combination here of Richard Mandela and Flavian Pratt. For those of you who watched, if you find the little check marks on my page as they go by, that is the horse that I usually settle on. So 1, 2 in a row. A step up from the OC 80 right to the John C. maybe that Ray mentioned a little bit earlier. Really strong race that day. Dueled, clear, held. I like all those things in a 1.125 race. I know that she's got to go a little bit further today at 1.25 miles. I didn't see an overwhelming amount of speed, and the horse does look like it can sit a trip. So I went ahead and put the 4 as my top pick. Looking to hope to get a price up here in the front. And as Ray and Joe have already kind of alluded to, this one certainly did come out to look like a little bit of a keynote ticket you see there. You don't see me do that very often. Underneath, I went with the 10 all the way through the 14, you guys. So I am fine with the 11 decked out, who I thought was real solid. And I was just hoping that we were not going to leave Zepesa off of this ticket. That's the one thing that I was just a little bit concerned about. Is I understand we're trying to get by the favorites, but this is a really strong favorite. As you mentioned, Joe, the form of the Beverly D. Before that, Tepin's on this course's sheets before. A very strong horse, and Michael Stidham actually had Zepesa out here last summer after winning in Chicago. So I went with the 4 as my top pick, and I think I did like decked out above Zepesa, but I had 4, 11, 12, I guess, as my 3 top out of those. Although, as you saw, I could have gone as many as 5 or 6, including Ruby and everybody else. So.
Oh, yeah. 9 numbers here. There we go.
Summarize that one. I've got Ray with the, I've got myself there with the 4 and the 12. I like the 11 a lot. Joe's got the 2, the 11, and the 12. Ray has the 4, the 14, and then I think underneath with the 11 and the 13. So we're off and running here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, coming back. Tell you all that we are heading off to race number 9, one of my favorite horses of all times. This is the Zenyatta Stakes. Grade 1, they are going 1 1/16 on the main track. The purse is $300,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. 5 starters, and your morning line favorite is in post number 2. If not for that darn horse in the Awesome Again Stakes in race number 7, then Beholder would by far be the most popular horse Saturday at Santa Anita. She's trained by Richard Mandela, she's ridden by Gary Stevens, and she's listed at 3 to 5 on the morning line. Joe, she's the best racing mare we've seen in California since Zenyatta. I don't have to remind you that I have photographic evidence of you feeding carrots to Beholder as recently as last Christmas. So, Mr. English, you're up first on the Zenyatta Stakes.
Yes, I know. I have a picture of her hanging over the doorway into my bedroom. And that's kind of what makes this difficult. And I 13 for 14 at Santa Anita. And it's funny, I was actually going to come up with a trivia question to say, okay, who is the horse that beat Anita? And you can't go back and look into the formulator past performances like I did, because that's how I would have had to find out. Anyway, I know Gary Stevens out of the gate in the Pacific Classic. He knew he was in trouble, and he rode Beholder for second. She'd beat Dortmund and the rest of that field. Other than Dortmund, there was some good horses. Obviously, it was a deep field, won graded races, but she was the best of the rest of that day, and he rode her like that. What to make of that race, and I'm really like Ray was saying, I'm not sure how she's going to bounce. I'm assuming she's going to run as with Santa Anita again, 13 to 14. You can't really knock it. That maybe Saturday or about 4 weeks from now, maybe there'll be a passing of the torch, and maybe, just maybe, have her measured today. And 4 weeks from now, on the square last time out, I don't think Gary Stevens is a lot of blame for that ride on Beholder. Almost kind of like, well, he waited, he took out the whip and went to work on her, and she got beat. And again, she fought back. Stellar Wind to me seems like a horse on the way up, and Behold on the way down. I'm going to say she's just holding steady, but she got beat on the square last time. And it's not like she doesn't like Del Mar too. So I'm kind of leaning towards Stellar Wind today. As far as our pick four, you have to use both. I don't think you can single. They're both quality mares, and you their price on Stellar Wind at somewhere in the neighborhood of the morning line at about 8 to 5, maybe a little bit lower than that, because my understanding is that Tara's Tango is supposed to scratch, and I'm not sure the Baffert runner Vale Dory or the other Mandela is going to attract any attention. So actually, they may kind of go off at more like 1 to 5 and even money, or 2 to 5 and even money. But like I said, I just happen to be on Stellar Wind today. I just think maybe she's getting better at the right time. I don't think Beholder will disgrace herself at all. Well, and it's kind of funny. I almost wish Beholder had drawn outside of Stellar Wind and I would assume obviously Beholder's got to go to the lead, and Stellar Wind's going to do what she did last time, and basically maybe a rerun of that last of the Clement Hirsch at Del Mar, and we'll see if her on her home track. I'm not sure. I'm leaning in that direction today. I am. Ray, what do you think about the Zenyatta and the proposed match race, I guess?
Yeah, what I like to see is the number 1, number 3, number 4 scratch.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen because Mandela will take the 4th place finish for the barn.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting fourth place of 300,000. So,
well, I think Beholder, should bounce back on her so-called, favorite surface. She is 13 for 14, like you said. She hasn't been beaten in 3.5 years. I think the difference here, might be, in my opinion, is that Stellar Wind hasn't reached the figures at Santa Anita rather than Del Mar and the other tracks. So it's a good question to see how she handles the track. She's 3 for 4. I understand that. Of course, Beholder's no match for California in the Pacific Classic. Like you said, she ran for second, and she, ran 201 and beat everybody else by more than 2 or 3 lengths. So she would have won the race, if Mr. Chrome wasn't there. She definitely appreciate the cutback to mile 16th, and I think she should win, but like you said, Stellar Wind is on the upside, and it'll be a good race, and it's just a matter of I want to see how Stellar Wind comes back and continues to make to get better and to improve. She is 4 years old, Beholder's 6. So Stellar Wind definitely has more upside right now, and let's see how it goes. We definitely have to include both of them. I want to include Valladolid, Baffert, who's red hot. First time Santa Anita. The distance suits. Did go longer than UAE Derby. Set the pace. If this horse gets out, you never know what can happen. Baffert wants to win. No prepping here. But the only caution about this, adding the Valladolid would be the doubling of the ticket, as far as we have the other two. So I would go Beholder, and my second choice would be Valladolid just for price. And I do like Stellar Wind also. So, Rich, it's all yours. The Zenyatta, and if she was in this race, that would be some hell of a race.
And it breaks my heart to do it. I was right there feeding carrots and little treats to Boulder Holder with them and like that, but I actually was going to single on Stellar Wind today. If you go back and you look at her track record back to her 3-year-old season, she finished off with a win. She had another win here. She was, basically on a streak, beating good horses on the dirt out here in California. She went to the Breeders' Cup. She went to Keeneland to show you That was one of the better performances by the California crew that went over there, and the California crew did pretty good over there. That was where Nyquist won the juvenile as well. So she was in the distaff. She finished second to Stop Charging Maria, ahead of Carolina. That was a 14-horse field. When she came back and got beat by Beholder, Beholder was very short that day, and everybody thought, oh, what a great performance by Sutter Win, and none of us really kind of paid attention to the fact that that was the first off a 6-month layoff. That's the only loss that she's had in this period. She came back, and as Joe mentioned, we were there at Del Mar the day that we saw. We saw it with our own eyes. There was nothing slack about the victory there for Sutter Win. She beat her square. They came right up head-to-head. If it's a match race, if everybody else scratches out of the race, Sutter Win's got her. So I was going to single with the 5 and just put Beholder underneath to try and keep the price of the ticket down. I hate tossing a horse like Beholder out. I think the only time I've ever not had Beholder in a pick 4 ticket was last year in the Pacific Classic. So for everybody who's watching, go ahead, just keep laughing. I believe there I have the 5 singled. I've got the 2 underneath, if you like. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ray went with the 2 and the 3 in that race.
Yeah, with the 5 too.
And the 5.
But,
and Joe went with the 5 and the 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I've got that correct. I'm going to come back to you guys. And we are on to race number 10. This is the Chandelier Stakes. It's a grade 1 going a mile and a 16th on the main track. The purse is $300,000. For filly, 2 years old only. 12 starters, and your morning line favorite at 7-2 is in post number 5, American Cleopatra, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden by Stuart Elliott. Ray, to give you an idea of the kind of shoes somebody's trying to fill today, a little horse by the name of Songbird won this race last year. So, my friend, you are up on the Chandelier, and please just remember who's watching. Yep, Ray?
Hello.
We may have lost him. I see him.
Oh, he's coming back.
He's coming back. Ray?
yeah,
You want to go ahead and take first swing at the Chandelier Stakes?
that was weird. I lost connection.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you're on the screen twice, actually.
we can actually see you
Yeah.
frozen over there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I guess it must be
Nuts.
Bob shaking his head at you.
He's got
Yeah,
the right
actually,
program
yeah,
this week. The right PPs this week.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yep, that's the bobblehead. That's who I like. We got American Cleopatra, right? American Fowl. That's full sister.
Yep, full sister.
Oh, right, there you go. And I think over dinner they were talking about this race, and Cleopatra told Fowl, "I got this one this year. It's my turn." I think she'll relish the 2 turns. Baffert's red hot and working well with Santa Anita. A lot of these horses are trying 2 turns for the first time, so it's going to be very interesting how they, run and the pace scenario. Definitely, speed figures are up there, right to par to the race. And I think American Cleopatra is deserving 7-2. I also like Champagne Room, number 3, Mike Smith. Happy you forgot to include him. Same scenario, trying 2 turns for his first time. Again, a lot of these horses is weird. A lot of these horses, this is their first race at Santa Anita. So this is pretty much of a, guesswork. You have to really, see how they run. And, some may take to the track, some won't. The workouts have been pretty good. I'm just going to go, actually, and also number 1 with honors. It's a strange move for this trainer. 2 for 2 on the turf. Probably will handle the dirt, the Somo. Flat. And she shows speed on the turf with the slow fraction. I think this race should probably start from the rail and try. She's already been a mile twice, so that's an advantage. But these are good horses. So that'll be my 3 picks. So 5, the 3, and the 1. All right, Joe. Would you like to bet the chandelier?
I actually kind of like the 2 horses you have on top. I haven't been reverse too much about Champagne Room and American Cleopatra Live. There are a couple of things I do want to mention. I will tell you about and one of the best things about a formulator is that
Hey Joe, you're breaking up.
PPs that I. Hello, is that better?
Okay. I think it was.
Okay. With honors, one of the things about having the formulator PP, easily download those for all these cards. I actually got a chance to look and see the with honors, and the dam is named All Her Class, and it's out of Street Cry. Is a horse that Ray probably knows a little bit about. I'm not sure if you remember Ray winning the Breeders' Cup in Philly back. I don't know, 2007, 2006.
Oh, Street Cry, yeah.
So I don't think the dirt will be an issue. She's not in my top. The other horse I wanted to mention was the 4 Zapper Cat, another horse that Rich and I at Delmar, and that horse was very impressive, running from the rail, got between horses and had a really nice debut. Richie Baltus and Royo, and they're teaming up again, and get 9 on a maiden breaker. Everybody knows that this horse is a pretty good horse, and I think this horse has a chance to upset the apple cart at a big, 9-2 is not a really big number. Probably be the 4th or 5th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th, 5th choice in the spot. Again, it's a wide open race, and I kind of want to see what Zapper Cat does out of, Go Zapper. It was pretty good in his time. So again, I went 3, 5, 4. Outside of the 6 really excited me at all. 5, 4 in that order, and now I'll hand it off to Rich and his bobble-headed friend.
And I actually am in the same 3 horses, I believe, that I just heard. Joe, actually, you called them off in the exact order that I have them. So I've got the 3 as my top pick. I think just, maybe just trying to get the doll upset probably. But I went with Peter Urton, Mike Smith. The horse has been solid in all 3 races. Just missed in that first one. A real short favorite second time out. And then a very solid performance where he was actually around the lead right there at the second call. Just came up a bit short in that 3rd one. So just trying to possibly get by Baffert, but not going to ignore American Cleopatra. This is the kind of race that Bob Baffert dominates, and I'm sure his statistics in the Chandelier are probably almost as good as they are in the front runner. So I did like the 3. I did like the 5. Those are my top 2 choices. And if I was going to back it up with the 3rd one, I knew there was a reason I liked that horse, Zapper Cat. I knew I had seen that horse with my own eyes, and thank you for reminding me when we did. And that was a 9-horse field. The horse did look very strong. Roberto Arroyo, Richard Baltus has kind of got that San Luis right, even though the horse works out Santa Anita, so I've never seen it work out. But Zapper Cat would be my 3rd pick. So I had the 3 and the 5 over the 4 as my backup pick. I believe I had 3, 5, 4, and Ray had 3, 5, 1.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to go ahead and come back. And, unfortunately, I can't let my little friend go here because we're on to race number 11, which is the finale today. It's the Unzip Me Stakes, going on 6.5 furlongs on the Hillside Turf Course. Oh, it feels so good to be back on the Hillside Turf Course. First is $70,000. This is for filly 3-year-olds only. You're going to have to scratch Lady Velour, leaving 13 starters, and your tepid morning line favorite starts from post number 10. Swift Lady, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden by Stuart Elliott, is 9-2 on the morning line. 9-2. Wow. All right. Down the hill they come, and with them our pick 4 dreams will be attached. 13 classy young ladies on the grass say, unzip me and get the 3 broke guys paid on opening day at Santa Anita. Joe, you're up first.
Let's just hope we're alive at this point.
I really hope we are.
That ultimately, let's get to this point. And tough race. Very difficult to find one selection. I actually kind of went, I think what might be a little off the board. I went with the 3. Okay. Another Norberto Arroyo. I'm starting to like him more and more every time I see him. The horse is tested for class in the stakes. Won the Grade 3 Torrey Pines last time. Won the Blue Norther at Santa Anita earlier this year. Actually, I'm sorry, late last year. Race in the form cycle. Maybe can get back to that race. Hasn't been down the hillside turf course before, which generally is a detriment, and also drew an inside post. But I think this horse, Pete Miller, is pretty good on this course. And again, this is one of Rich's San Luis Rey connections. Pete Miller trains a lot of his horses down there, and the horse actually worked out there. Nice work on September 24th. I think she's 6-1, and she's won four of 9. So I'm taking a shot with a little bit longer price, trying to avoid the Baffert angle. I know he's hot, but generally on the hillside turf course, and especially on the turf in general, thoroughly as effective as he is on the dirt. I'm also going to the outside for another long shot. The 13, who actually drew in because number 8, Lady Velour, scratched out of this spot. In Cover Song is in. The horse broke its maiden down the hillside turf course, so that always bodes well for later in her career. She ran well, finishing third in is a one other than at Carla Gaines, Mike Smith, outside box 13 post, which is better on the hillside turf course, and you're getting 15-1 for a horse that's already won over the course. And another angle, I like looking at the pedigrees on some of the horses, especially in races where I'm kind of perplexed about finding a winner. And the dam of this horse, Misty, for me, actually ran third back in the day in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf from England for one start. She finished third, beaten less than a length. And for the life of me now, I can't was the winner and the other horse that beat her that day. But obviously she had a bit of class. So I'm going to give this 13 a look at 15-1 in the morning line. And the other horse I went with is the number 7, Miss Katie May. Again, one of Rich's angles is the new face in a new place. Grand Motion for Flavian Pratt, who also does well in the turf. Again, stakes placed in the Krista Cat. Last start, third start off the layoff, even though it was a very brief layoff. The horse came flying late furlongs, and I expect that trip to work out well. Hasn't had a chance. Actually did run over this course. Ran 6.5 at Woodbine over the turf and did win. And so obviously I don't think the distance will be the issue. Just the layout of the course may be an issue. But again, she's 6-1. You're getting Flavian Pratt, so I don't think you can really. So those are my top choices: the 3, Belvoir Bay; 13, Cover Song; 7, Miss Katie May. Send it off to Ray. And Ray, what do you think of the Unzip Me?
Well, I like the horse you just mentioned, number 7, Miss Katie May. I think she'll be closer. She's a good closer, and running on this horse that profile fits in with the very fast factions that they're gonna have. Usually 21, 40 pounds, and that definitely would help. Clever Pratt, that you said, is a good turf jockey, and yeah, she's here. They're here to win. So closes it well, and she'll be right in the middle. And as the turns come around, she'll be in a good spot. I like them. She ran well in the 2 starts on this course. And Santiago Gonzalez and D'Amato went well together. And this is broke guy's angle with the coming out of claim race. She's won, and by the favorite. So she has experience on the course, which is important. So 10-1, I'll take a chance there. I also like number 1, Kearney. Looks like you're going to run well here too. It's the second race in the U.S. Victor Espinosa and Sadler. This horse comes from France. And those courses over there are always like a lot of hills and turns, not too many turns. But this was went on at Del Mar, and second time here, off a little layoff, and probably prepping for another race here in Santa Anita. So those are my picks there. The 7 and Rich, this is your unzip race. You like this? Give us a winner.
Yeah, I really had some trouble getting out of the finale here. So I believe if it's a tough one. I almost got like a swing for the fences horse, but I'm hesitant to throw it in there. I actually liked Kappa.
Yes, sir.
The Phil D'Amato horse that's out in post 12 has got early speed. Post 12 on the hillside turf course is actually, it's a great advantage to have the outside post in a 6.5 furlong race down the hillside turf course. You don't have to go as far as that right-hand turn. So I would imagine that Phil knows what he's doing. He wouldn't have put the horse into a turf race if he didn't believe it. And the horse came out and won the first 3 races of his career, including the victory ride over at Belmont. So he was able to travel and is a very successful, I keep saying she was able to travel and successfully translate that. So I'm thinking that that's going to translate down the hillside course. Unfortunately, I have a tendency to believe that you need to have experience and success down the hillside turf course. It doesn't just come naturally. As a matter of fact, that's why Miss Katie May did not end up on my ticket, despite, as Joe said, one of my favorite angles, which is Scary Face from any other place on the turf course. But the hillside turf course is its own little creature here at Santa Anita, and you do need to have some experience. And unfortunately, Baffert's horse does have experience on the hillside turf course, has won 2 for 3. Those are the 3 races that the horse has had here at Santa Anita. And if you look at the races, came out of that and finished 3rd behind Miss Double D'Oro, among others, in a race there at Santa Anita I think that's the Misdirection. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep in Baffert's horse, and I actually like the 3 that Joe had as well. So I have the 3 and the 10 as my top 2 picks. So I a little bit more of a chalky weasel, I guess you would say. But if you are looking for a swing for Wins the horse, if I've got some money on my ticket because Stellar Wind is my single and my pick 4, I might use Kappa. I'm not a big believer in Alamo on the turf, but again, I am a big believer in Phil D'Amato, and I like the way that this horse looks, and I'm thinking that he might be a solid try here in that first position call. So I went 3-10. Joe, I believe your top 2 picks were the 3 and the 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And
that's correct.
I've got you down with the 1 and the 7. This is going to be a fun ticket tonight, gentlemen.
We're going to use some algebra today to make a ticket. Algebra.
Yeah, we might. We might. I might need an abacus here in my office. So give me a moment while I go ahead and open up our template.
The derivative of, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Well, 2x
I haven't used that word in about, 5 years, 6 years. Since I took that calculus class, I don't remember.
Common core. There we go.
If our pick 4 ticket comes out higher than the quarterly budget for my call center, we're backing up into some of these.
All right. Did I see you in November?
See, they were smart. They knew better than to put California Chrome in the pick 4.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
They knew better.
Or was not the word that I used when I saw that. So let's not go there. Okay?
Who would sing with him anyway? I wouldn't sing with him. Come on.
I didn't even look at the race. I'm figuring there's no point. I wouldn't even have looked at the race even if the horse was in the pick 4.
Let me get in here and stop this for a moment.
I know it's Baffert's world and everything, but not. He's still yet to find the Chrome. He might have it in his barn, but he's not running tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, he's running I think he's running Dortmund, and he's also running. Opportunity's on there.
Opportunities. My understanding is Opportunity is going to run in the Gold Cup at Belmont next week and scratch out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Noted and quoted is also supposed to scratch out tomorrow.
All Hopper Fade would need to do is see California Crew and be like, nope, not going to beat him.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah.
Been seeing him for 3 years. I know that horse. All right.
I think just avoid California Chrome.
Okay, so come on. Who's the horse that beat Beholder at Santa Anita? Who knows it? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you anyway because none of you would know it. It was in January.
Oh,
it was January 2013. About almost 4 years ago now. It was, and maybe you might remember, Renee's Titan.
No.
Santa Ynez is a 3-year-old. She got beat 3/4 of a length, as was the rider. And that would have been another trivia question. Okay, well, who got her beat? Oh, Gary Gomez was the one. 13 other than that spot.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Ironically, what?
She definitely likes the track. For 14.
Ironically, she's won this race 3 years in a row, looking for number 4. Ironically, Mike Smith rode her in one of those races. 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Beholder beat Tis Midnight and Papa in the Zenyatta under Mike Smith at 2-5. Now, if there's ever a Jeopardy question, y'all know the answer. Oh boy, Keno.
Yeah,
But you know what? They're equal weights this race. 125. She's picking up 6 pounds.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Hey, Ray, okay. Okay, no, go ahead.
Equal weight.
5 times 5.
I was going to ask Ray.
Times 4 is 100, so that's
57 seconds. There you go.
150.
Oh, man.
5 times 5.
Okay, question. Okay, I mean, Ray, I love you like my brother. Actually, I love you more than my brother, but 3 deep in the Zenyatta, can we?
I know, yeah.
I mean, would I love to blow up the ticket with I mean, the horse is not going to be 10-1, more like 6-1.
No.
But yeah, I mean, really?
That's a fantasy. It's a fantasy.
But they run that race at Oaklawn Park in April, I think. So that has no business being in this.
I take a shot. I mean, hey, listen.
Hey, you know what? Hey, again, Baffert can prove me wrong. I mean, if she beats both, I'm not. But to be able to beat both of them, I mean, I could see maybe possibly beating one of them, but to beat both of them seems a bit of a stretch to me.
Yeah, I know.
Again, she's going to get third money, so obviously, and she'll get black type, so no argument for running her to run third. And heck, maybe she'll surprise somebody and beat. Again, it'd be a stretch to beat both of them. So that's 100. Are we going to go that far?
No. we need to figure out who else is going off because.
Okay. Well, let's take out everybody who is only mentioned by one of us, which means the 2 in race 8 goes because I was the only one who mentioned the 2. Ray is the only one who mentioned the 1 in race 10.
Right.
So that would be 12, 14 in race 8, 2, 5, 3, 4, 5 in race 10. And in race 11 is the only one who mentioned the 1.
And the 13.
No, I was the only one who mentioned the 13, and Ray was the only one who mentioned the 1. Both of us mentioned the 7, Ray and I.
Yeah, I'm the one who mentioned the 10.
Okay, well then I guess we can't. Well, let's. So if we go,
I think race 8 is good. Yeah, race 8 is good. Believe that.
okay,
That's good. And
that'd
race
be
9.
4x2 by. Okay, and if we take the 1, let's take the 1 out of race 10 or 5. That would be 15, which is 120. That would be a $60 ticket. If we want to go 5 deep in the last. 4 by 5 is 20. Okay, yeah, that's the way it would work. 1, 3. It's just so. Ugh. I'd like to even include another one in race 8, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Is I mean, the ticket is not anywhere near being lock solid, but it's expensive.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Even the 11th. I mean, I might end up hitting the all button in the 11th race. You saw I'm swinging for the fences with a.
Well, because well, if you're going to beat Beholder.
Yeah, I feel I mean.
Yeah. Single. If you're going to single in that spot, regardless of whether you choose Beholder or Stellar Wind, it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
For coverage in other spots.
I'd love to include. I mean, I would love to include them both. It's just it gets so expensive when you need as many as I need, to get there.
Sure. I mean, that 8th race is just it's a head scratcher. It's a lot of them run against each other. It seems as if they've run against each other so many times. It's just like, okay, whose turn is it today? It's really. I mean, heck, we can go 4 deep in that spot. We can be out before Beholder and Stellar Wind, get saddled. I mean, that's how tough a race 8 is.
I mean, I can mention this if we wanted to cut it down to a $40 ticket, and we can pull Zapper Cat from this race right here, and just go 2-5 and 3-5, and the two middle legs. The 3-5 we all agreed on, and then the 4.
Right. I mean, I'm fine either way. We could go with or without. That's fine with me. I mean, it's. So it's either 40 or 60, depending on whether we put in the 4 or not.
Right.
Or I know you didn't mention the 4.
No, I mean, straight for the maiden race. It's this race.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the reason you and I are mentioning it because we were there, right?
Oh yeah, well, we were there, and she was impressive at 12-1. She looked very impressive that day at 12-1. She looked very professional doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, even drew the rail sprinting, and blew and didn't even go to the lead and won going away. I mean, the speed figure, the buyer speed figure was higher than everybody else in the race.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 6-furlong walkout, so he's really good to go distance. So, yeah, I mean, you could keep going. $20, man.
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it either way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're good.
Rich, you okay? You good with this?
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. So 4, 11, 12, 14 with 2-5 with 3-4-5. With 1, 3, 7, 10, 13.
Sounds good.
It's a $60 ticket, folks.
One to bar.
You got it, Joe?
Yes. And the bed will be placed early in the morning because I have to leave at about 7 o'clock to take my son out camping.
Oh, camping, nice.
Again.
I'm taking my son camping tomorrow too. It's
sure.
camping in a bar instead of
by 7 o'clock, my house will be quieting down, and
Yeah.
look at
Yeah, good. Yeah, good for you all, guys. You guys you'll be able to watch every the 3 top 10 college football games from Saturday. You guys will be able to watch all that. You'll
No,
be able to
no,
watch
no.
all these
I got
races,
house of people in
and
my house.
I will miss all of it.
Yeah, no.
Every bit of it.
I got
But that's
party,
okay.
house party,
That's
no TV.
yeah.
Chit chat.
Yeah, somehow Toronto, I think you'll sneak away and find a way to watch Beholder and Stellar win somehow.
Oh yeah. Round the phone. Like this all day.
Actually, we have about yeah, exactly. If we take a picture of you, that's what it'll be.
Come on.
You on the phone. We have 10 minutes. I haven't had a chance, and I don't know if either of you did either of you look at any of the races at Belmont tomorrow?
No, I didn't. No. I saw
Okay.
Finch here.
I barely looked at the races.
Well,
I barely got to our.
It's funny.
The sprint race might have like 3 horses. We got to get Peter supposed to scratch.
Well, yeah.
And then-
Oh, he's going to scratch?
I most likely. That's what I heard.
Oh, because of the weather?
Probably. I guess do one of these tweets or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I just got 2 things I want to say if we've got some time.
Yeah, to look at the car.
One is I saw a tweet. I don't remember who it was, but somebody says I don't want to hear anybody from the East Coast complaining about West Coast field size when they get 4 horses to run for $500,000 in the Joe Hirsch. I understand you're trying to beat Flincher, but really. So anyway, and second is the return to the races, and I'm sure everybody will know this. Everybody who's a fan will know the name of this horse. Run Happy runs tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
at Churchill Downs in the ACK as a prep for the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile.
Oh wow!
Oh okay.
So I'm not sure what post time is for that race. I'm going to assume it's probably somewhere in the 2 o'clock Pacific.
4:49.
5 o'clock Eastern.
My time. So 1:49.
4:49 Eastern. Okay, there you go. So that should be happening tomorrow to see how Run Happy returns from basically a year layoff.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm watching race.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I don't. Is there anybody in the race, Ray, that would any competition at all?
Iron Fist is 4-1. Is ready 8-1. The Treat or Else 10-1, and Mr. Z 12-1. Mr. Z's in every race.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's a name I hadn't heard. Mr. Z ran Dortmund and Firing Line to really close finish in the Los Alamitos Derby 2 years ago.
12-1 with Calvin Burrell,
and he's running every 3-year-old race since then, even though he's 4. But yeah, no, I think so. I guess really we won't see how much of Run Happy tomorrow. My guess is he'll probably run about 2.5 furlongs and collect the winner's share and prove nothing to nobody. Considering he isn't going to beat anything tomorrow. But
Mr. Z is 2 for 20 with $1 million earnings. I like that.
Yeah, opportunity's not much different.
Yeah.
And he's won almost 4 because he ran third in the Dubai World Cup.
Yep.
And he made about $1 million.
The Lucas Classic Stakes
at Churchill Downs.
Yeah, Breaking Lucky. 5-2. Noble Bird and Braidster.
There we go. Oh, Braidster. Okay. Oh, that's not a bad race actually. So, Rich, what are our plans for next week?
All right. Well, for those of you who are watching, if you enjoyed the show, we will be back next week. Joe just mentioned that. We're going to get together. We'll take a look at another exciting card. We actually haven't decided which card we're going to go to. So it's either going to be Belmont or it's going to be Keeneland. If you'd like, if you got an opportunity, go ahead and comment on our page. Let us know which one you're going to handicap. Maybe that'll influence our decision. I hear Ray back there at Belmont, but I'm actually going to go for Keeneland myself. Maybe we'll split again. All right, gentlemen, that's all the time we have for tonight. It's always a pleasure to handicap with the two of you.
Yes, always.
Yes, enjoy the races tomorrow, Rich. Have fun.
For Joe English
Oh,
and
Rich,
Ray
you did it,
Pilato,
Tom.
I'm Rich Sharp. Thank you for watching Three Broke Guys Handicapping. Good luck and good night.
Good night.